So I've been on a real dinosaur kick recently. Anyone else? Just me? Okay. Last night I was watching one of the GOATs, the original Jurassic Park movie. God, just leagues ahead of this Jurassic World shit. Not even just saying that to be a hater, it's just genuinely terrible. And I've been consuming a lot of dinosaur media in general lately, and well, I'll get right into it. I won't give you the long version, unless you want me to. Don't think I won't. But at one point it got me thinking, how accurate are ARK's dinosaurs? Now of course ARK is not meant to be accurate. ARK isn't meant to be educational, it's purely for entertainment, and it uses dinosaurs as one of the means of doing that. ARK's creatures are more in line with fantasy animals that use dinosaurs as inspiration. ARK even has a get out of jail free card in terms of accuracy, as these are canonically different species than the real life counterparts. So ARK does not claim these to be the same as the real life animals, and often bring up the differences in their dossiers. Now, having said all that, just for the sake of asking and expanding our brains, how accurate are ARK's dinosaurs? In this series, each episode I will look at one of ARK's many creatures and compare its accuracy to its closest real-life counterpart. So to do this, I'll be using a 1 to 10 scale, broken down into 2 segments. The first one and the majority of scoring will go to the physical design. This can score between 1 and 7. The other will be behaviour, which can score between 1 and 3. These combined numbers will determine its overall score and land a spot on a tier list accordingly. So let's get into our first episode, the Raptor. Yeah, I won't beat around the bush here, this one isn't great. In terms of accuracy, of course. As an aesthetic design, I love ARK's Raptor. It's one of my go-to dinos, and that's largely because of its design. Its animations are so smooth, and I'll sometimes find myself just walking around in my Raptor for hours. Like a normal person. Well, firstly, what the fuck even is ARK's Raptor? So Raptor is a non-scientific term. Raptor means robber or thief in Latin. But the only thing in ARK they steal is the lives of new players, or maybe my heart. Raptor can also refer to modern birds of prey, but is most commonly used as a nickname for a group of dinosaurs known as the dromaeosaurs. This includes the famous Velociraptor, Deinonychus, and today's main subject, the Utah Raptor. So in game, this creature is simply referred to as the Raptor, which as previously mentioned could mean a range of things, but when we look at the dossier, an official name of Utah Raptor Prime is given, meaning that it is a closely related species to the real life animal Utah Raptor Ostromacea. I don't know if I can pronounce that right or not, it'll be on screen regardless. So that will be the main subject of today's comparison, but I will mention other species when needed. So let's finally get into the accuracy review, and begin by addressing the elephant in the room. You all know it, you can all see it. Pronated wrists. Let's talk about pronated wrists. I want to mention this first because it'll come up a lot in these videos. This is super common in all sorts of dinosaur media, including even documentaries unfortunately. This is where the wrists of the dinosaurs are pointed down instead of facing together. Yeah, dinosaurs couldn't do this without breaking their wrists. If you were one of those little freaks like me that ran around like a special needs child pretending to be a dinosaur, or maybe you've got a kid that does this, well firstly, please tell them to stop. Please. They will get bullied. Rightfully so, but yeah, it won't be good. But if you or they were like me, you likely had your hands pointed straight down. Dinosaurs, unlike us, did not have the flexibility in the wrists to be able to do this. The palms of the hands should be facing towards each other, so they would be able to clap. Clap, clap for the handy. I also want to talk about just the general build. If you take away the feathers, this looks just like the Jurassic Park Raptor's design, like no cap. From the head to the overall body, this is straight out of Jurassic Park. The thing that stands out the most to me is the leg to tail ratio. The legs should be a little shorter and tail a little longer, but this doesn't mean there isn't areas to complement. This model isn't too badly shrink wrapped, which is where it basically looks like there is just skin being placed over the skeleton. This is pretty common in dinosaur media, but this look would only appear if the animal was starving to death. In some areas, there is some real meat on these bones. I mean, damn, look at these thick, juicy, bulbous calves. Bro does not skip leg day. Now, while it isn't terrible in this regard as a raptor in general, remember, this is Utah Raptor, the big daddy of the raptors. So this Jurassic Park Deinonychus build is too slender. And yes, for those that don't know, despite the name, the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park aren't actually based on Velociraptors, but rather Deinonychus. Since this is Utah Raptor, it needs a thicker head and stockier build. The only thing it really has from Utah Raptor is the size, which seems about right. Okay, yes, I hear you. I'll finally talk about it. Feathers. Or rather, the lack of. Feathers in dromaeosaurs have been known for decades now. ARK has kinda made an attempt, I guess. You get feathers on the arms and running down from the head down the spine and ending in a weird feather paddled tail at the end, but this is obviously not nearly enough. It's like ARK knows what it has to do, but it doesn't have the strength to do it. Maybe the scaly appearance is meant to look more threatening, but it's certainly not accurate. While this design isn't so far-fetched that it's unrecognizable as a raptor, nothing really tells you that this is Utahraptor other than the general size, looking more like an outdated and exaggerated Deinonychus. Because of that, for design, I'm going to give this raptor a 2.5 out of 7. Like I mentioned earlier, ARK's creatures are more in line with fantasy than reality, and many of these have almost magical powers. These of course are purely gameplay features, so I won't include them in the accuracy review, but will mention normal behaviours when I can see them. In game, raptors receive a pack bonus when in a group, increasing their stats. A pack lifestyle is often portrayed with raptors, and much of the public understands them as these hyper-intelligent, wolf-like animals that can hunt with coordinated attacks. In reality, there isn't much evidence for this at all. The most famous raptor, Velociraptor, has no evidence at all. There is potentially some evidence for Utahraptor, as a group of them have been found fossilized together. Does this mean they lived and hunted together? Probably not. There are more likely explanations for this, like a predator trap, where these individuals have all been drawn to a single carcass and perhaps died due to whether like flash flooding, got stuck in a mud pit, or killed each other fighting over the food. In game, raptors show an interesting hunting strategy, being able to pin down smaller animals. This is actually pretty good. Raptor prey restraint is one of the leading theories in how raptors used their signature sickle claws. The raptor would pounce onto the prey, using its claws to anchor itself to the target, while its teeth and hand claws did the damage. And despite not being able to fly, they may have used their wings to help balance while they did this. And while ARK doesn't show them using their wings for balance, they don't show them using their toe claws for anything ridiculous like slashing open their prey. So overall, this behaviour is really great. Other than maybe the questionable pack hunting lifestyle, which at least in Utahraptor's case there is slight possibility, a little bit of evidence for, the raptor behaviour in this is quite great. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 3. Overall, this iconic dinosaur has its ups and downs, falling to a few common outdated pitfalls, but makes up for it somewhat with some realistic behaviours. With an overall score of 4.5 out of 10, it receives a not great, but not terrible C+ on our tier list. So what do you guys think? Agree, disagree, did I miss anything important? Let me know down in the comments below, and what dinosaur should I do next?